inside. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
G'day crew, it's Seano here and we're back for a live video, pre-Thursday night live video for round 15. So if you're out there and you want to come and have a chat, please do. If you're watching this video at a later date, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget we are also trying to get to 300 subscribers before the end of the season. So if you hit that subscribe button, that's going to help me out a lot. And yeah, let's have a chat about what's going to go on tonight, and when the teams come out we'll go through the teams and just a general talk about Supercoach and what's everyone doing out there. So yeah, if you're out there and you'd like to join me, that'd be great. If you'd like me to show your team up on screen, I'm happy to do that. If you'd like to try and catch me live in future, don't forget to hit that notification button, which will tell you when I go live. I also put it up in X or Twitter or whatever it's called these days. So yeah, if you follow me there, you will also be able to check me out and see when I go live. So we've got our our score from last week. We are plummeting, absolutely plummeting. I have a little bit of secret to tell you guys. It hasn't really been me controlling my team the last few weeks. I've had someone else at the helm, and that's why we haven't been doing too well. Yeah, this guy's been at control of my Supercoach team. The same guy, the same koala that hopped behind the wheel of a car and caused a 5-car pileup. And he doesn't look very happy there. He's telling me what the F am I looking at. So yep, he's been in charge of my team, and that's why we've been doing so badly. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Let's move on and have a bit of a look at the team. While we're waiting for some people to show up, I'll kind of show you what my plans are this week. I think my plans are pretty set. Again, if you want to know my final trade plans, you can always hit me up on Twitch. I put them there, or X. I'll put a little in chat. If you're here in chat, that's the link to get to my X, I don't know, whatever it's called, that thing. I don't have many people following, so if you guys out there want to follow, that would be awesome too. Make Seano feel good. Okay, alright, let's have a bit of a look at the team. This week's trades for Seano, we're thinking of going, this is pretty much set. Ashcroft for Darcy, straight swap in the forward line and in the back line with a bit of DPP moving around action. We can do a straight swap from Mills to Kako. We were really tossing up between Jason Horne-Francis, McRae and Darcy, and I think it came down to Horne-Francis and Darcy. I went Darcy in the end. The main reason's because he's cheaper and Seano needs the money. But also I probably, if I knew that Horne-Francis wasn't injured, I mean, which he seems like he's going to be alright, he's going to play and everything, but he did get that shoulder stinger or whatever they called it on the weekend, so he's just a little bit prone to the old injury, but I think he probably could score more, higher average by the end of the year. I don't think he's got the lower floor which Darcy might have if he has a game where he gets really clamped down on and doesn't kick any goals. But that 30 to 40k difference, if you look at how much money I've got left, this gives me 32k. If I got Horne-Francis, I would have like $1,000 left. So that gives me a bit of room for next week, where we're really thinking about getting in Tom McCarthy from the Eagles, and we'll probably get him in for one of three players, either Carroll, Clark, or Johnson. And that, as you can see, all of Johnson, probably not Johnson because he'll probably have a little bit more money to make, but Carroll could make some more money, but he's probably, hopefully makes about 15k this week, goes up to about 210, and then Carroll will go up probably 10 or 15k this week as well. Is that what they're predicting? They're predicting he's going to go up about 16k, and Clark's going to go up about 15k, but Zach Johnson's still going to go up 50. So there's a good chance, even though I'd like to keep Clark, because I think there's a chance he might get DPP in round 17 or 18, but I need the money. I need more money than getting rid of a Gray. If I go and get rid of a Clark or a Carroll, you'll see that I have leaves me about 100k in the bank. If we get the calculator out before you guys come and join us. And you know what we do? What do we play when we get the calculator out, crew? We play, where is it? This one. Nerd! Yep, so calculator's out. Gives us 32,500. Put that in the memory save. So then next week, say Clark goes up 15k to be 210. He's kind of predicted to go up. If he gets 55, he goes up, okay, 17.9. So let's just say, let's say safely, we say 15k. So he's exactly 210,000. We take 99,100, which is the price of Tom McCarthy. That gives me 110,000 plus what we've already got there in the bank. 143,400 that will give me, and 5 trades. So that means I could pop that 100 and whatever that was, 43,000, which I think I just got rid of by accident. We can put that on top of a Doherty or a Roberts, and hopefully to call that a finished team. As you can see, we've got Callum Mills down here in the flex this week. That's going to give me a loophole option for. We'll have to see what Clark scores. If he scores a good score, great. We'll move Gray onto the field and put Carroll on the bench. If he doesn't score very well, we'll let Carroll have a swing and see how he goes. And and then next week we'll have McCarthy here in either the flex or here, and so that will be our team. We probably won't do that trade from Roberts to Doherty straight away. We might, depending on if we want to blow our trades, but if we do that, we will only have 4 trades left, which is a little bit risky. I'm thinking that, we want at least 5 trades. So I think we will probably just try and run McCarthy as our flex, at the equivalent of our flex position. And then our team, so if you want to see what my team will look like coming out of the buys, we still got so it'll look like this: Dale, Whitfield, Wangani Malera, Zorko, Roberts and Mills. Sinclair, Brayshaw, Bont, Rao, Dacos, Sheasel, Cadwell and Doherty. Sherry and Gawn, and then Smith, Petrarca, Warner, Daniel, Darcy and Rankinine will be here. And then we'll have Tom McCarthy down the bottom here, and hopefully he scores enough. Hey Rod, how you going? If Jonas found the missing sock? What? I'm not aware of whether he found his socks or not. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you're talking about, buddy, but it sounds pretty funny to me. We'll set the team back up the way it is. So that's what my team will look like coming out of the buys, and then we'll have decision whether who do we potentially upgrade out of Doc or Roberts up to another full-time. It will be whoever we do. It'll be a midfielder. Even if it's Roberts, we'll move either Sinclair or Sheasel back, and that way we will have, that point of time the back line will look like there'll be either Sheasel or Sinclair instead of Roberts there, or we'll still have Roberts and Mills, and instead of Doherty there'll be somebody here. But anyway, I'll be getting a midfielder, whatever midfielder I feel that I want the best, whether it be a Zach Butters or whoever I feel is going to be the best to finish off my team. How have you been, Rod, and how's your team going, buddy? You ready for the footy tonight? Teams are still not completely out, except for the Wednesday night ones. We can have a quick look at those if you want, crew. So Archer Day week's dropped, so if you've got him and you've been playing him, that's a little bit unfortunate. Mr. Ape one, what you do is you go, it's a Google Chrome extension, and it's from Footy Scores. So even if you go in here and you type Chrome, spell it right, extension, footy, it'll probably come up. 40 Scores extension Chrome. 40 Scores. And then it should, 40 Scores. It should be give you the you just download that, and then I don't know if you can see, so up here it gives me a little icon up here, and I can switch it on and off as actually once you switch it on, it doesn't like it. But if I open a new one, it would be in the old school, and then I would just go click on my little 40 Scores extension button up there, and then it would be dark. So that's how you do that, buddy. I hope that helps you out. Yeah, no worries, mate. Hopefully I can be of some help. Don't know how I'm going to be helping people out with their teams. A bit disappointed with my team, to be honest. Talking about how it's going to look coming out of the buys, I don't like it. I think my forward line is fine. My back line is okay. I don't love having Roberts and Mills. Obviously, I prefer. Like we said, it might be Sinclair back there at some point, but even if it was Sinclair and Mills or Roberts here, I'd much prefer that this position was like a Rosie or a Lockie Ash or somebody else who could really go big. And then here in the midfield, I think the midfield's okay. Like we said, even if Sinclair was back there, we would have. But say it is how it is now. Sinclair, Brayshaw, Bont, Rao, Dacos. Sheasel, if he plays that mid-roll, I think can be fine. Cadwell can be fine, but I'd a few of these I'd like. Maybe the Cadwell and the Doherty, I would like to have proper full-on primos that can score really big scores. You got 11 trades, Lancey. I hope you said your name right. So that's quite a lot compared to most people. Like I've got 6. So if that gives you the money to go, to do something else, I think it's fine. Do you think Mills is going to outscore Houston? Assume you mean Dan Houston. Didn't he just have a decent week last week? 90, 70, 180. how much is he? 440. So honestly, I don't think Mills. I think Mills will probably score around the same amount. So if you're doing it because you think Mills is going to outscore him, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But if you're doing it because you need the money to put it somewhere else to get another primo in another line, like if you're doing that and you were getting McCarthy next week and that gets you up to a gun midfielder, or a Bont or a Butters or a whoever you like, then yeah, I think that's fine. Dan Houston, he's only had that one big score, and so yeah, and then since then he's only had 200, so he's not scoring great, and he's got you a couple of 60s. So I mean, yeah, you've got the trades to do it. I think I kind of wish that I had 11 trades, mate. So yeah, I think that's fine if you're doing it for the money, and overall that'll improve your team. I mean, I don't think Dan Houston, what's he got a break even of? He's got a break even of 65, so he probably should break that. But I think Mills's break even is much less than that. Much less. Let's see if we can do it like this. Can you guys see that? His break even is 34. It's not a great difference, but it is a bit of difference. Is that what you're thinking, buddy? You're gonna trade him down, and that's gonna give you 100 grand to spend somewhere else? I could see them scoring about the same. I mean, if we're lucky, Mills scores more, but I'm not thinking the Mills is going to go back to scoring his fabulous 150s and that 212 score he got that time. Landsy, I think that's a great decision, mate. I wish I had held Horn-Francis, at least one of them out of the two, and then I would be in a better trade position, and my team would definitely look better. So you've got an option now where you can go. You got 11 trades. You can go a little bit crazy with the trades. I mean, if you've got a boost or anything left, you can just smack in a boost. Like, I would love to have a boost, like either from last week, this week, or the next week. I would have loved to have a boost and have around 11 trades where I could just like get my team, have options of going down again. Like next week, you've got a few rookies, like the Hawthorn rookie, which you can go down to. You'll have McCarthy, you can go down to. This week, I mean, if you want to take a bit of a risk, you could also go down to Martin from Geelong and keep making money to keep improving your team. Plus, you've already got those. I still think Jason Horn-Francis and McRae are going to be right up there for the top 6 forwards. So having them is I think is pretty good, really. I mean, I don't know if I wanted to keep both of them, but I haven't been doing that well, really, even without them. So I don't think it would have been a big disadvantage. I think it's actually probably pretty smart that you've kept them. Sheldrick at 160. Bont for next week. And Sheldrick's been doing you very well, mate. And I probably think next week's probably going to be a good time to get rid of him, because we're going to have Mills in the team, and also this talk of Goulden being back too. I think, so I think he's probably going to be at close to his max money. I mean, 340k. That's a good buy. You've almost made 600k. What's his break even this week? -2. So you could even afford to keep him a week or two more. I mean, he's probably going to get close to 400k, depending on what his role is. Like, one more good week, and that's brilliant. You've made 200k. He's one I missed out on. I missed out on a few rookies this year, and he's one I definitely missed out on. VC on Luke Jackson, I think that's a great. There's no Darcy in the team, Jackson. So Jackson with the Jackson, that makes total sense to me. Jackson putting the VC on Jackson. If I had Jackson, I'd be doing it. He's against the rookie, and there's no Darcy in the team. Darcy is being rested, I believe. Let's just check that. Sean Darcy being managed. So he is the number one man in the ruck, and he could score 1,000,000 points versus Vigo Vicentini. That's a pretty cool name. Sounds like a medieval evil dude, basically, right? Sounds like the guy out of Ghostbusters, the bad dude. Vigo. 2,155 is absolutely amazing last week, Lansey. What round rank was that? That must have been in the top couple of thousand, right? That's so this is where you come back. You've got trades, you've got those two guys, you're pumping big scores out like that. This is where you just fly past people like me who have burnt. I made too many trades. I, got too many mid prices, and now I'm stuck having to get more mid prices like Doherty and Mills. Like, I honestly, it was in the top 2K. Yeah, nice. So you might have dropped a little bit, but coming out of the buys, you're gonna skyrocket up the ladder, I would expect. If you want to give me your name of your team, we can have a look at on chat if you like. But yeah, you're going to skyrocket up, and you'll probably pass a lot of people above you who have traded their asses off and have no trades. It only takes a few injuries, and at least you've got those 11 trades, right? If there's another injury week like we had that Horn Francis, McRae, and Finn Callahan week, you're going to be able to get around it pretty easy. Other people like me are going to be in big trouble where we might have to hold. And by the end of the season, a lot of these teams, I think, who have gone down to 2, 3, 4 trades, they actually might have zeros on their field, or they're probably going to have rookies playing. I mean, we've been very unlucky this year when it comes to rookies and money and and cash generation, but we've been very lucky when it comes to injuries. Like, compared to past seasons, I remember there hasn't been a great amount of injuries. It was just that one round where there seemed to be a lot in one round, but I remember years where it's almost every week that a player was getting injured. Like, this week, I don't have any primos that are injured. All my primos are either playing or on bye, touch wood. So, I mean, as for injury season, I think we've had a very good season. As for cash generation, not so good. Let's have a look, buddy. Let's have a look. We go to leagues. We go to rivalries. We put on dark mode so we don't blind ourselves. Set up a rivalry. Horse. Arrow. Oh yeah. Well, you know who I pick over? I pick Cox only because he's one of the best ruckmen to ever play the game, and God knows Eagles, as an Eagles supporter, I would give anything to have another ruckman like Coxie or Nick Nat. I think I got you, buddy. Yep. So you want Coxie over Horse? Coxie's bigger than Horse. I guarantee he's bigger than him. So Sinclair, Holmes, Whitfield, Sheasel, Houston, potentially Rosie back there. You don't have McCarthy. Oh, you have got McCarthy already, buddy. You got McCarthy. You went early on him, did you? Or have you brought him in this week? So, yeah. Injuries this year. I mean, he's still an unproven head coach. So, I mean, I love the man more than probably most people do, being an Eagles supporter. And I still rate him as one of the best ruckmen of all time. When he played Supercoach, he was the lock and load. He was the number one ruckman every year. Just like a Sherry is now a Gorn. You didn't even think about it. You just put Coxie in and you went for it. Yeah, went early on McCarthy. Wish I had done that, but hindsight's brilliant. So Houston for Mills, you make some money. How much money you got? You got any money? Butter, Sarong, Neil, Rosie, Merritt, Johnson, Hurst, Hosway, Liddy. You got Henny, Sean. Okay, Sean. Yeah, one of these, Sean, for a Henny.
Me fail English?
That's impossible, Henny. So you got Heaney, Dacos, and Sheldrick. Cherry and Gorn, Smith, Petrarca, Horn, Francis, McRae, Daniel, Rankine. So your forward line's sorted. McCarthy's sitting nice there in your flex. You've got 2 and a good rookie in your midfield, which is fine. So you probably need either need to get Rosie back here. If Mills gets you that, yeah, you only got 20k. So I can see why you're doing the Mills thing then. I think it's fair. With 11 trades, I'd be seriously considering doing that as well. So you get Mills, you make yourself 80k. I think Mills is 157, 200. So you make about 80 plus your 20. You got 100 in the bank. So you have Mills on field. You probably put yeah, then then you're still fielding one rookie. So then you've got 100k though. So what do? You got Mills here. Eventually you probably want to have Rosie back here as well. So that'll be your back line. Sinclair, Holmes, Whitfield, Sheasel, Mills, Rosie, Butter, Sarong, Neil, Heaney, Dacos. Butter, Sarong, Neil, Merritt, Heaney, Dacos. So yeah, you got 100k in the bank to put on top of maybe Sheldrick. Go one down. Next week, go one down and one up. You know, maybe get Sam Butler from Hawthorn for Pedler or something like that. Maybe if that's what you decide to do, make another 50, 100k and try and get another gun midfielder. And then at least you'll have basically a full team with running like I am with McCarthy and a flex, which I think is fine for the moment. Hey, Parrish, you're the legend, buddy, not me. So if I was you, Lancey, that's what I would be doing. But your team looks fine. Just get that. You just need one more primo, basically. If you're running Mills, if you're counting Mills as holding up your back line there. So, and I think you can get it with 11 trades by doing that. Doing the maybe the trade down next week. You know, doing the Mills for Houston. We think they'll score similar. You'll make yourself 80k, which gives you 100. And then next week do a downgrade. Try and pick up as much money as you can in that downgrade, whether it be next week or the week after. I think Butler is going to be a reasonable choice next week. Maybe no need to go there this week and go on Martin. I think I'd probably wait for Butler next week and see if Pedler's name, what's going on there, and then try and get that money on top of Sheldrick for the best primo you can possibly get. Yeah, we were just talking about Jackson. Asked me if he should make Jackson his vice captain, and I said F yeah, because no Darcy in the team. I assume Jackson's going to go huge. I'm thinking 140 plus minimum. You're saying 200. I think that's a possibility, but I reckon he'll go 130 plus unless there's some type of disaster for sure. I don't see how he doesn't go 130 plus easy. Seano Vicentini. It's some interesting names there. I said Vigo Vicentini sounds like remember is it Ghostbusters 2? Where am I showing my age? Ghostbusters 2, where the Sigourney works for a artist, and the picture comes, some ancient evil dude is called Vigo, and he comes out and he's an evil guy. Anyway, that's who I'm thinking of. That's who. Then you'll get Bont and Butler and trade out Sheldrick, Pedler the following week. I think that sounds great, Lancey. If I had your team, that would definitely be my plan, and I would like the look of your team better than my team, basically, coming out of the buys. So you'll still have, if you do 1, 2, that's 3 trades. So you've still got 9 trades in the bank. I put it 2 trades next week and 1 trade this week. That's a reasonable amount of trades. I think coming out of the buys, there's 8 rounds. If you've got 1 trade per round, so you're thinking that there could be 1 injury per round, excellent. You got those trades. That's what I would like. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to come out of the buys with 5, and that scares me a little bit. But I think that's the perfect amount. And in past years, I think this year is the first time I've ever come out of the buys with so few trades, which, considering we had more than ever this year, is a bit surprising. But yeah, this year is the one that I've usually always got at least one trade per game coming out of the buys, and this year it's just not. Hey Mikey, how are you, buddy? How's your day going? Thanks for joining us here. Not too old for the Supercoach. You're a baby. 37. Pff, nothing. Still in nappies, mate. I'm slightly older than that. We're not going to say how much older, but we're older. We're older than that. I'm probably I won't say I probably am one of the older content creators. I think maybe Swordplay might have a few years on me, but probably not by too much. Most of them are younger lads or footy lads, or surprised someone my age knows how to use a computer. Same goes for money, storage space, etc. This is true, but I think normally I'm pretty good with trades, and this year I just haven't been. I think I looked at the fact of the extra boosts and the extra trades, and I was just like, oh, we got plenty, everything's going to be fine. And that just wasn't the case. I had a wish I had been a little bit like Landsy here and had not given up, not traded out Horn Francis, not traded out McRae. I mean, my scores wouldn't have been that much better anyway. I had shit scores through those rounds anyway, so it wouldn't have made much difference. But I would have had more trades coming out of the rounds. And not gone Toby Green, not mentioning anyone, Paris, and not gone. I mean, then I wouldn't have had to go. If I hadn't have done that and I had trades, I wouldn't have had to go Doherty. I probably might not have had to go Mills. I might not have had to have Roberts in my team at this stage. Cadwell's been really good, but maybe I could have had somebody else there instead of him. So, I mean, and again, Rao's very good, but if I had lots of trades and lots of money, I probably wouldn't have gone him either. So I guess it's worked out a little bit in these ones, but overall, it's really hurt me. You don't look at. Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you. Yeah, if you see the teams come out before me, crew, let me know, and we'll have a bit of a look and see if there's any surprises. We'll chat until a bit before the game starts. So anything you guys want to chat about, if you want to look at your team, you want me to have a look at your team, let us know. Paris, what are you thinking about? What are your trades? Are you thinking about trading? You got your trades locked in, buddy? As Bayside Spuds, that's you. Have you got your trades? Apparently Marshall is in doubt with Saunders. Ooh. At least it's through the bye rounds. But yeah, that's not very nice. Got to wait to see what happens there. Hopefully he's not a laid out. You have no idea what to do, mate. Welcome. Actually, this is 1 week where my trades are set because I can't really afford to do anything else. If you just joined and you haven't seen what I'm doing, I'm going Ashcroft to Darcy and Kako, and that leaves me enough money to go from Kako up to Mills. And that semi-completes my team, sort of, with McCarthy next week in flex. It completes my team with accounting Mills and Doherty as one of... I'm going to have to, out of Roberts, Mills or Doherty, two of those three are going to be stuck in my team to the end, and there's nothing I can do about it. I might be able to get rid of one, but I won't be able to get rid of all. So I'm probably going to end my team with, really, in theory, two mid prices, which is not ideal. Dale is going to slaughter you this week. I keep telling, he's been good. He was up and down, but now he's got all those runs at Marvel, which is exactly why I chose Darcy. Well, the first reason I chose Darcy is because he's cheaper than Horn Francis and McRae, and gets me 30k in the bank. If I went Horn Francis, who I might prefer, depending on how injured he is, that's a good word, I would have 1,000 if I got Horn Francis, 1,700 or something. So getting Darcy gets me 32k, but I think Darcy in all those games under the roof at Marvel can go big. He just can also not go so big sometimes. Yeah, I guess Dale's been good. He's been now, and he's got all those Marvel games, so he had that really... I mean, it wasn't that bad, right? He got a 68. Besides, his lowest score's an 80. And he's got 81 and a 93. So he really hasn't been. I mean, we were saying he's a roller coaster ride here. Oh, and he got a 70. He got a 70 here. So in these, from rounds 3 to 7, we were all crapping our pants, thinking that it wasn't that good. But since then, he's been awesome with 124, 127, 144, 80, 118, and 129. Yeah, so I mean, he is smashing it out of the park. He has to be. Is he in the top last 5? If we went defenders, he must be in the top. And if we go last 5 rounds, he's coming 4th. Wish I had got Holmes. I think Holmes is a big miss for me. He got down as last 510k, 5.5 to 5.15. I think he was. I wish I had got him. You reckon Hewitt, Jackson, and Jordan Clark are all going to go big as well? I think Hewitt now with what's his face being out, Walsh is going to be good for the next few weeks. For sure, and he's still fairly cheap. I think he's a reasonable pick. And then when Walsh comes back, he's still going to be good. Maybe not quite the huge scorer, but I think he'll be the number 2 banana behind Cribbs, and he could go big over the next few weeks. Definitely Hewitt. Jackson is going to go massive tonight, and without the other Darcy, Sean Darcy in the team, he's going to go huge. They grab the ball and they look for Dale straight away. They do, which is nice, which is what you want these back Seagull types to do. I'm kind of hoping that Callum Mills becomes that back Seagull type. You know, it'd be nice to have him right there in the guts of the midfield, but I don't see that happening. It hasn't happened for the last couple of years, so what would make it happen now? I hope they just give him the Seagull role. They go, here you go, Callum, kick it out, run around, get the ball a lot. Everyone handball it to him and let him run it up the field and kick it to somebody. Mikey, you just need a forward and a defender and a flex to finish. But you have to bet long. You're going to bet him? I mean, I know he's been good, but I don't know if I bet him. Nothing else to do. But nothing else. So might go bargain basement for your last upgrades. You mean like a 99k non-player play? Is that what you mean? Or you got a lot of trades left? You need a forward, a defender, and a flex. I honestly think for the moment, if you need that many, depending on how many trades you've got, McCarthy could just be a good flex for us all. I got a feeling that I'm hoping McCarthy's going to be my flex to the end of the season. So if that turns to shit, if Minnie McWalter drops him, or they give the role back to Marek, or they decide, oh, he's pretty good, let's try and play him as a forward pocket player, which sounds crazy, but it is Minnie McWalter. So yeah, it could be a disaster. But so I would just, if you've got McCarthy, I wouldn't worry about that for the moment. I would just assume he's your flex, concentrating on getting on that forward or defender, picking him up for however trade you got and how much money you got. Worry about that flex later on down the track. If you're coming into the last 4 or 5 rounds of the season and you got heaps of cash and heaps of money, then maybe get the flex up and have depending, who knows, McCarthy could be really good. I mean, he could. We saw the 133. He could be, if he holds that position, he could be really good. He could outscore people like Mills or Roberts for the rest of the season if he holds that position and if he's as clean with the ball. We've only seen one game, right? I know they said he was clean with the ball when he came in, but can you really keep up that? Can you really keep it up? How much did he? So what did he have? Fantasy. Yeah, whatever. I don't know why. My security won't let me even click on them. Teams are out. Ooh. We'll quickly look at that. Because I want to know, and then we'll come back. So, West Coast. That's West Coast. number 1 up the top. So he went at 94% with 80% time on ground. I mean, is that sustainable? I don't know if that's sustainable, but if it is, woohoo. All right, teams are out. Let's see. Hopefully, I was going to say the carnage, but hopefully not. All right, so Geelong, we have Oliver Henry in, Sam De Koning out. So if you've held Sam De Koning, you'd probably make a nice little flip over to Callum Mills. In, Darcy Gardner and Will McLaughlin. Out, Jack Payne, and out, Callum Archie. Okay, interesting. Should we see just have a quick look at the lineups? If you were thinking about getting Jack Martin, he is named on the interchange bench. So I'd prefer if you were getting him if he was named on the field, to be honest. It always says to me that the coach isn't really sold on his job security if he's not named on the field. Not that that's always the case, but that's the way Seano's brain works. Over here, Kyle Lohman is back. I thought he was injured. Levi, Sam Day, Will McLaughlin. He's probably going to be the sub, you would say. Still no big Oscar. Oscar the Grouch is still not there. They've named Josh Dunkley as a follower for, unfortunately, because of the injuries last week, he had to swap his position up, so that wasn't great. Pitnet is in. Ooh. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm happy, but I'm happy for my team that I didn't get in TDK, even though I told anyone listening who I said that I think TDK was the best ruck to get in this week. If you needed a primo ruck, I wouldn't get him in now. I would think about it just until you see how much time De Koning spends up forward, because obviously he's in there because all the forwards out for Carlton. They're missing all their really good forwards. Kerno's still there. They just Harry McKay is the one who's out. For some reason I thought Kerno was out too. Carroll, where are you, Carroll? Am I just blind? Where is he? Hey, Matthew Carroll, there he is, on the interchange. Hopefully not a sub player. Yeah, I started with Gawn and De Koning, but I didn't sell De Koning at the right time. I could have got Sherry for De Koning and made 10 grand, but I waited a few weeks and ended up paying another 100 grand. And instead of making 10 grand, I lost 100 grand by doing it. Another one of Seano's mistakes this year. In, Charlie Comben, out, Callan Dawson. Where are you naming Sheasel as a follower? I'll take it. And you're naming McKercher for those people who have got McKercher. They did this last week. They named Kobe McKercher as a half forward, and yet they didn't play him as a half forward. This is what scared me, and I didn't get him. You know, we went and played this video.
It's a trap!
I was going to go there anyway, and then I didn't because I saw he was named up here, but he certainly didn't play half forward. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, as far as I'm aware, he played down back. And let's look into that. Let's just have a quick look into that. I want to know for sure. I want to make sure that Seano's not talking shit like he normally does. Let's make sure Seano's not talking shit. Bit of a heat map. Well, they reckon, as Aussie, half forward flank they say he's played. Heat map, I mean, he's kind of all over the place, right? But still a lot of time here in the back and through the middle. He was named a half forward flank, but I mean it's only really the five possessions in the front half of the field, really, not including the square. So I still think that seems mostly playing in the back line, but not completely in the back line. So if you saw all of it back here, I'd be like, yeah, he's got that seagull roll. So I'm still not sure if he has the seagull roll, but I don't know if I'd call this a forward, half forward flank roll either. Where are we going? Back to the teams. All right. Port Adelaide versus Sydney. We have Inns, Joe Berry, Moraes, if you kept Moraes. Oh, that might... Maybe with my other team, I had Moraes and I traded him out. Lockie Jones, out. Hugh Jackson. Oh, if you got Hugh Jackson in, that's a bit rough. Ollie Wines. Surprising that you're getting rid of 2 midfielders. Well, Ollie Wines is injured. Maybe that might affect my game day. Anyone else playing game day? I've just started this week playing game day. We might have to have a quick look at that squad crew just to make sure before the game starts that I don't have Ollie Wines on the field. In Matt Roberts, back from his injury. Errol Goulden is in. Excellent. I think he's expensive, but if he comes down, he could be a sneaky pod coming into the end of the season. Papley and Armity, is how you say it, out. Lloyd is out. Ooh, I definitely need to look at my team because I'm pretty sure I've got him in. Taylor Adams injured. Tom Hanley and Corey Warner. Who's going to be the sub in this game? Geez, you'd be pretty unlucky to make Sheldrick the sub here, wouldn't it? Riley Bice, could Riley Bice be the sub? Harry Cunningham, maybe Harry Cunningham's a sub. Harry McLean. Interesting. Where have they named Mills? In the centre on a wing is where they've named him. And I guess Goulden, where are you named Goulden? Straight in the guts on the other wing with Chad Warner in the centre. Francis or Bice, hopefully. I reckon it's Francis or Bice. Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, for Lannis, for you too, it would be a real bastard for you if they're making the sub or sub him out. You need him to have at least one more big score for him to make you some more money for next week. But that's the way this season's been, right? I know if I had him, he'd be the sub. You sound luckier than I am. You sound like a lucky man, so I'm hoping that he's not for you. Alright, over here, Sweet's back in. So, the Sweet and Vicentini are in. Well, that's interesting. They're playing them together. That's interesting. The Port are playing, and they've named Vicentini as the number 1 ruck. Sweet with backup. That's interesting. Okay. That is interesting. They must have done that last week too. Okay. Jason Horne-Francis, definitely named. In the centre, Connor Rosie, named as a follower. But they do that every week, right? They name him as a follower and then they've been playing him back. Collingwood and St Kilda. Limpski in. William Hayes out for Collingwood. St Kilda has... why is every fucking name hard to say today? Why they picked everyone with a confusing name? Taruru? And even Alexander's not spelled. Alexander Taruru. It sounds like he comes from Russia or something. Alright, we'll play it. Me
feel English?
That's impossible. Alright, that guy. Matthias Philippou. I mean, glad I've heard his name mentioned a million times. We'll probably struggle with him. And Darcy Wilson. Out goes Ryan Burns, Jack Carroll, and Zach Jones. Alright, so let's have a quick look and see if the lineups are interesting and who we think the sub might be. Keeler's still playing back. That's nice if you've got him. Wangani Malera named at halfback. Yep, you stay back. Ryan Marshall is named. Paris, he's named. Hopefully he won't be a late withdrawal, but he is named. They haven't put any rucks as... These 3 guys aren't available to ruck. You think if they thought any chance he was going to be a laid out, you'd think they'd put what's his face, the man we want to play in the future, Boyd, in there. So I think it sounds like you're reasonably safe, buddy. Reasonably, we'll say. Travalia, Stoker, Butler, Max Hall, and Darcy William. We know Travalia's been the sub a lot of times, so there's a good chance that he's probably the sub. It could be any of those guys, but you know, if I was throwing darts at a dartboard, I'd probably aim at Travalia. What about Port? sorry, what about Collingwood? Limsky, Dacos, Edward Allen's almost guaranteed to be the sub, I would say here. I would say that's a high probability that he's going to be the sub. McStay or William Hoskin-Elliott. Hoskin-Elliott. Alright, so that's interesting. Alright, into the Sunday, this will be extended lineup, so they basically mean FA until we see tomorrow, but Giants bring in Leake, Ware, Ryan Angwin, Jake Stringer, Toby Green comes back, out, Brett Daniels injured, out, Sam Taylor injured. Sam Taylor, oh yeah, for some reason I'm getting mixed up with Taylor and Ash then for a second. Gold Coast, in comes Lockie Wheeler, Alex Davies, Ethan Reid, Connor Buderick, and Jai Farrar. Out goes Sean Lemons and David Swallow. God, David Swallow has just not been the player we all thought he was going to be, right? Thought he was going to be a superstar, and he's been serviceable, but he just hasn't been the absolute superstar that we thought he was going to be. Was he number one pick? I think he must have been close to being a number one draft pick. Alright, let's overlook GWS. Okay, all fine. Lockie Whitfield name back there, you better stay there. Toby Bedford there for the tag. Who's he going to be tagging? Matt Rowell or Anderson, obviously, if he is tagging. Wonder if Aaron Cadman will kick 1,000,000 goals. Nicholas Madden, if you've got him in, he's still playing this week. So you will make some money if you're getting him in, but just be aware that Briggs could come back the week after their bye. Finn Kelly and Tom Green. So a couple of these guys to be dropped off. Ralston still in there. So no real big surprises either there or here. No huge surprises, crew. Bulldogs versus Richmond. Oh, Eagles don't play this week. At least I'll be. I mean, back in the old days, I don't need to watch footy. Eagles aren't playing. Now it's like, oh, good, I don't have to see us get flogged. Lockie Jacks in. James Harms, Jed Buslinger, Nick Caulfield, new Jarks Cousteau, out Luke Cleary, Mr. Cousteau. In Jacob Blight for Richmond, James Treesies. Oh, I told you every bloody name is confusing this week. Lefu and Alga. I mean, every single, except for Blight, they gave me 3 tricky ones. Kane McAuliffe injured. That's unfortunate. Has Bond been dropped to GFL? Yeah. Oh, Paris. Oh, big. Imagine, like, I could afford, if I hadn't gone Bont, I could have had Bont and Butters in my team now. But no, Shauno had to go Bont early and pay $170,000 more than everybody else. Because Shauno's not smart. I showed it at the beginning. Maybe you guys watching now haven't noticed, but I'm claiming that I haven't been controlling my team for the last few weeks, and that's why we didn't do too well. I've been controlling. I passed over the control to this guy. Yeah, can you see him? This guy. He's been controlling my team since the week before the buys. This koala who likes to drive and cause 5-car accidents, 5-car pile-ups. He's been in control. He's been at the wheel of my team. That's why we've been doing so bad. So that's the teams. Any surprises there for you guys in those teams? I don't think there was too many surprises. There's a few good things. Those of us got those people that have Horn Francis, he's playing. For you, Paris, they've named Marshall, so that's good. I want to have a quick look. I know you guys probably don't really give a shit about game day. I only started this week just because I was a little bit interested. I was watching another streamer where they said they had you get some free packs of stuff. But there are a few relevant players for me I need to get out before the games start. Ollie Wines, I think, was one. I'd love to get Luke Jackson. If he was cheaper, I'd do it. I'd pay up for him if he was cheaper. This is going to be really quickly, crew. Really quick. Then we'll get back to the important stuff. Did I pick Ollie Wines here? No. I didn't see any of these guys being dropped. Everyone seems fine. What about the other one, the other comp? Ollie Wines, yeah, I thought I remembered putting him there somewhere. We'll bring in Patrick Cripps for him. And then we're going to assume the rest of those guys are playing. We'll assume the rest of those guys are playing. Does anyone else play that game day? I thought I'd give it a go. You know, why not? Lots of green ticks on Seano's screen, which is nice. Lots of green ticks. Sims is not playing. That's unfortunate. They don't have a bye this... Are they on the bye this week? They're not on the bye this week, right? They were on the bye last week. So he didn't get a game? Oh, he's on the extended bench. Ooh, let's have a look and see. Western Bulldogs versus Richmond. Thomas Sims. Hopefully he gets a game. I'm not really confident there, but I hope he gets a game. More players' careers. I thought I'd have a go. Why not? Something a little bit different. It's not like it says you can win prizes, but it doesn't say exactly what prizes you can win. It's a bit, yeah, tricky. It's not tricky. It's a bit sneaky with what prizes. Like you can win lots of prizes. I'm like, what prizes? Can't find out prizes. It's not like Supercoach. You ever tell your friends they're like, you know, they're like, oh, what are you doing there? Like, I'm playing Supercoach, and they're like, oh, what's that? You're like, oh, it's fantasy football. Oh yeah. Is it any good? I'm like, well, you can win 50k or 2k a week. And they're like, what? You can win 50k? I'm like, yes, you can win $50,000 and it's free. Plus you can win $2,000 a week if you get the highest score. And then they're like, oh, maybe I should play that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you should play it. Would you like to join my league? And then we can have another easy beat. League's been a bit rough for me this week's crew. We have a quick look at my league. The important league, the big league as it's called. We have West Coast Falcons, good friend Dave, right up top, having a very good season. I think his team's just outside the top 1,000, yet 1,100. One of his best seasons. Masturbator, if you want to put it that way. Jason, a very good player. Also right up there, where's he's in overall rank 12,000. So, and then you got Jenny Craig. She's having a very good season. I don't know her. She's a random, which is putting my lead and having a very good season. So well done, Paula. Brad started off like a house on fire. Was in first position, but he's dropped back a little bit now. He's always right up there. He's a good player. Front square Chris, I believe he's a friend of a friend. I don't know him personally, but he's usually, I think he's having one of his best seasons. Matt's a very good player. He's always up there. And I'm down here languishing in 8th. We were in 3rd a few weeks ago. As you can see, the last 5 rounds, we've won 2 and lost 3. So that ain't great. And we're on 32 points. And there's which is even with 3 other people, including 9th place, who I'm only in front of by percentage by 0.3%. And then we got a heap of people on 28. So it could be big trouble for Seano and his league. No point in me not swinging for fences now, where I just need to make that top 8. If I don't make the top 8, I call it king of the losers. You know, you have a playoff between 8 and 16 in your leagues. If you win that, I call it king of the losers. And I don't like being king of the losers. I want to have a chance of winning the premiership. So hopefully that's going to go okay. As for the others, I play some drafts and stuff. You guys probably aren't that interested in that. We forgot to do our draft last week. I don't know how. We forgot to set it up for the buys, and we won a couple, but we lost a couple too. We had some big scores. We had like Malera on the boundary scoring like 117. It was a rough week. Good for that. I'm doing quite well in those ones. If we have a quick look in draft, quick look in draft. I'm in 4 draft leagues. I enjoy the draft. Do you guys like draft? I'll be doing some drafts next year, so if you keep an eye on my Twitch or my channel, I'll probably do give you some codes if you guys want to join the drafts. But this one, so we're in 3rd in this one. Let's go. Big Cox, we're in 2nd. Kick it to me, we're in 2nd. And this one, where we actually missed half of the draft and came with like half an hour late, we are in 10th. Which is surprising considering we were left with a whole heap of players that were pretty shit. Half our team was injured. When we eventually got on, we'd selected half the injured players in the league, which I'm still hoping they're going to come back, right? I'll show you what I mean. So look how terrible. Look at my bench. We got Yo on the bench. Oh, that's it. We've actually got rid of. We got rid of a lot of the people. We had Tree Law on the bench. Yeah, pretty average team there. Almost no superstars at all in the entire team. Whitfield is the only decent player I had. That's the player that the computer automatically picked for me. So, not great. Not great at all. Yeah. Any of the team stuff affect you guys? Any of the teams out affect you guys? I tell you what, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to need to turn the aircon off, the heater off, because it's bloody hot in here at the moment. I'm starting to sweat. I'll be right back.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Wow, there seems to be a long delay between me and getting to chat with you guys. I mean, it's still going now. It hasn't even gone to the for me. It still hasn't even gone to the be right back. Wow, how much delay is that? That's a crazy amount of delay. Anyway, we will push on. I don't like that. I prefer to talk to you guys in real time. Like, I know when I watch a lot of the other... I thank you for the people that have liked too, you know. If you would like to like, that would be awesome. 7 seems to be a long way behind. Still going through the teams. Shouldn't be that far behind, crew. I've got Brayshaw as my vice captain, Paris, which means it's quite a bit behind. Quite a bit behind. Just saying sorry about the delay in chat. Seems like a really long time and delay in chat to I mean, we're just finishing going through the teams now. doing game day. Seems to be a long delay. I really want to be able to chat to you guys in basically real time, because that's the fun part. That's the fun part of doing these videos. We're going to have to look into seeing if we can reduce that time. Yeah, at the moment it's a long time anyway. So would any of you guys like me to put your team up on the screen and have a chat about it? Anyone watching? More than happy to do that. For the moment though, I think we will think about what are we going to do next week. I think we're definitely getting in Tom McCarthy, because otherwise we'd be crazy, right? Otherwise it'd be crazy talk. So we're definitely getting in Tom McCarthy. And we'd like to get him in for Gray, right? We'd like to get him in for Gray. Can we just like... like to get him in for Gray. That gives us 106k, but why? That's not enough though, right? If McDoherty or Roberts stick around the 450k mark, which I think they will, I think Doherty will make his way up to 450k eventually, and I think Roberts is going to stick right around 450k. Chucking 100 on them, 106. So I did it to Roberts today, I would get a 550 player. I can probably get a decent player for 550, but it might not just be the player that I want. If it's whether I might want a 560 or a 70 or an 80 player. If we go down and look, let's have a look and see. I'm definitely going to get a mid. So if we go to players, not to leagues, we go to players, and then we'll look at mids. Filter for mids. If I had the 550 this week, who could I get that I really want? Who's on fire the last few weeks? Why is it? Why can we not see how much money they're worth? Oh, owned, because we're not looking in the right one. Classic. Well, like, why can't we see the prices? That's because we're not looking in the right one. Still looking in the draft. Yeah, but definitely, crew, if you're interested in doing drafts, we'll do some drafts for you guys. Midfielder. And we'll do some leagues with just kind of us crew where we can be in there. And that will be awesome, hey? You can kick my ass and then brag about me, then rub my nose in it later on. You can kick my ass and then rub my nose in it. Won't that be awesome? Alright, so... couldn't afford Brayshaw, we'd need 590. Couldn't afford Holmes, couldn't afford Dawson. We could afford George Clark if we had the 550 this week. We could afford Dunkley, bit risky, even though I still think he's just been coach's issues, not his issues. Tissues, you might need tissues if he scores another 76, but you know. Ed Richards, couldn't afford him at 618. Sinclair, couldn't afford him 600. Tom Liberatore down a little bit. Coach talking about playing him back a little bit. Still couldn't afford him anyway. Is your man under 550k? Oh, so you can see me now? Well, that's good. That's good. You're not too far behind them, Paris. I thought you seemed like you were a lot further behind than that, so that's good. He's ruined your season since trading him in. Dunkley, yeah, the coach kind of ruined him a little bit last week by swapping him around a little bit. But, the beginning of the season, he scored that 170. If you had asked me if I want Dunkley in my team at the beginning of the season, I would have said, you bet, Paris. I would have said, you bet. I think Hewitt is awesome, but I think his score might drop off a little bit if Walsh comes back. He did play a little bit defensive midfielder for a little while. I can't see him doing that with Walsh out of the team. He's going to be just a number 2 gun in there. But I still think he'll be pretty consistent through the whole year. How much is he? I mean, even with, I'd assume these games are the ones with Walsh came back, right? From like something like 7 to 11, something like that, or 7, and he still scored pretty good. He still got hundreds. Without Walsh in the team at the beginning of the season, though, 120, 120, 120, 130, 170. So I assume without Walsh in the team for the next 4 weeks or so, I believe he's out for about 4 weeks. Is that correct? Seano telling lies again. Injury list, how long is Walsh out for? 4 to 5 weeks. So for the next 4 to 5 weeks, I can see him score pretty big. Walsh plays wing a lot. Okay. I still think he might have affected him a little bit in here. I'm pretty sure these games here, there was no Walsh. Walsh was injured at the beginning of the season, right? If I was to look up Walsh, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it where we can compare the pair like the Mongooses do. So he was injured until round... Oh no. Wasn't he? I thought he was injured at the beginning of the season. He's played every game. Right up until now. Alright then. Seano needs to check his facts. So yeah. So I wouldn't be worried about that at all. Get Walsh in. Get him in. Hey Slim, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, mate. Hump to do. Let's go. Your rivalries, leagues, rivalries. If I just write hump, will it come up? I don't already have you from before, do I? We haven't humped before? Okay. Yep. Okay, let's have a look. So, trading out Newcomb. The Nuke didn't nuke very many of this, people. You told me about Walsh. You were correct, Paris. As you should be for someone who's that high scored. No humps today. Okay. Trading out Newcomb. Long to Bont. Trading out Newcomb and Long to Bont and Darcy. To finish your team, leaving 5 trades for injuries. Do you get McCarthy on the bubble or save the trade for injuries only? McCarthy's not on the bubble. Yeah, you mean get him on the bubble in a couple of weeks' time? I definitely get McCarthy. But yeah, maybe waiting till his bubble is the smartest thing, Slim. So I think you sound like a smart man. What position you're in? You're better ranked than I am at the moment. I think McCarthy is just going to be too good not to get, just because he's going to provide you, even if he's not playing on the field, he's going to provide you, especially because you're like me, you've still got Saad El Haloui.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Yeah, one more time.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Yeah, so you've still got Saad. So having, even instead of, if you like, who could you do? You got Petrarca up there. If I was you, so you said you're getting rid of Long to Bont, getting him nice and cheap. Thank me for destroying Bont for you, getting him nice and cheap. And trading out Newcomb and Long to Bont and Darcy. You're moving your forwards, one of these forwards up here, so you're going to have 2 forwards and Darcy down here. Like Daniel's going to be in your midfield. You're going to have Bont in midfield. So your midfield's going to be Butters, Sarong, Callahan, Dacos, Petrarca, Cadwell, Bont, and McRae, we'll say, or Daniel. And then down here you're going to have Darcy. Flex, you've got De Koning. Very, very nice. You'd be keeping Long. I mean, he's pretty consistent. You might. Can you do it? Trading out Newcomb and Long to Bont and Darcy. Can you go straight from Newcomb to Bont? Do you have enough money to go straight from Newcomb to Bont? And Bont could be cheaper. Yeah. You might even just go next week. Yeah, you could potentially not trade this week. You could get Bont this week if you have enough money to go straight up to him, but he could be cheaper and got some spare cash. You could also go Nuke to actually, it's probably better if you want one or the other. If you definitely want Darcy 100%, he's got a lower break even, right? Who's got the lower break even or the higher? No, the lower out of Bont or Darcy. Let's just go Western Bulldogs and mids and forwards. Bont has a break even of 177, so you definitely can get him cheaper. Sam Darcy has a 140, so they both got high break even. So you finally got options. I'm like you, buddy. I'm looking at your team and I can't decide. I mean, to me, the only thing is your forward line looks sorted to me, and you've already got Petrarca up here. So I know you want Darcy, but you don't really need him. Your backline's, your team looks really good, mate. Your backline's pretty much sorted. If anything, I'd potentially be thinking about, you want, yeah. If you want to get an extra playing player this week, is kind of what you're thinking, right? If you're going to go Newcomb next week, why not go Newcomb this week? That would be the only thing on my mind. Do you want, you've already got a very good team. 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll count Roberts as a premium. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You've got 19 primos. Almost 20 if you count Long as being like a potential primo. You've got a lot of forwards. So I don't know if you need Darcy. Bont won't go up in price. Yeah. If it's your last trade, get Bont. Bont won't go up. Neither of them will go up in price, I don't think. I think they'll both drop a little bit. Bont could potentially drop more. If Bont gets another 100, he'll drop 35k. He is facing Richmond this week. I don't know, you tell me, crew. A lot of other content creators are saying Bont as a bontified captain option this week. Do any of you guys have big enough cojones to put Bont as your captain this week? You're a Darcy fanboy. I mean, he's awesome, right, Slim? I understand. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Bulldogs. There's nothing that really makes me. I used to hate the Bulldogs. Used to be my most hated team. Not anymore. Back in the days when they had that dirty bastard Danny Southern played for them, he used to gouge out people's eyes and shit whenever he could. And Libber used to be Libber, as good as he was a pain in the ass as well. So I used to hate them until, as the years went by, I decided to like them more. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could do it, Slim. Paris, Bont is my captain. He hasn't scored more than 105 for the last, 3 weeks. Could you really? I mean, I know it's against Richmond, but Jesus, I don't know. I guess for me, I'm more I more go on form than go on the matchup. I know a lot of people go on matchups, and I could kind of understand if he's playing the Eagles. I mean, I understand then, but there's so many good mids. What if they just stick him forward for the game, I'd be very dubious about going Bont as your captain. Now that I've said that, he's bound to score 150, and I hope he does because he's in my team, and I bloody well deserve 150 after how much I paid for him. But I'd call what I'm going safe. I might even go Dale before I go Bont, and even that I think is risky. A lot of people are just going it because it's a Richmond matchup, but I might even choose Dale before I go Bont. You could finish it with 2. Yeah, you could. I mean, because you said you've only got leaving 5 trades. I would prefer, if I had your team, to be keeping that 1 extra trade. You get Bont here. Your team looks complete to me. And then next week you get McCarthy, and that gives you money in the bank. You get McCarthy for whoever you want. You could get him for Gross, who doesn't look like he's going to play, or Camporelli, who's a dead player. You make yourself 20k, you get a dead player out. You get this. I'm looking forward to when Sard comes back, which apparently here says expected round 17. If he plays, there's no guarantee he plays, but if he does, and you've got McCarthy in the midfield, say instead of Camporelli here, you've got coverage. You've got 6 trades, and you've got coverage for every round. These guys, you just live with them. I think your team looks pretty good. I'm too scared to do Bont as well. I looked at so many other content creators, and they're all just saying, go Bont on the fixture. And I've been wrong. Actually, when it comes to captains, I've been pretty good in my team. But for me, I'm going Brayshaw into Sherry, and I think that's much safer. Like even if I was going to go Sherry into someone, I'd probably go Sherry into Dale over Bont, just to knowing that it's at Marvel. Even that I think is risky. You don't know what Dale's going to do on a week-to-week basis, but it's at Marvel. The roof is closed. If you really wanted to swing at the fences, I could go, Sherry into Darcy, but that's like crazy talk too. I prefer to go on form, not on matchup, unless you're playing the Eagles. Even if it's Richmond, even if it's North Melbourne, I prefer to go on who's just smashing it out every week. And for me, I'm looking at Brayshaw, and I'm thinking, you got 130 last week, you had a couple of down weeks, but even just who's the highest average, he's averaging 122. That is the highest in my team besides the 2 ruckman, I believe. And Bailey Smith. I'd even go Bailey Smith or Holmes as a vice captain into Sherry. I'd go Bailey Smith into Sherry. Only that slight injury would worry me a little bit. Or Bailey Smith or Holmes into Sherry before I would go Bont. That's just me. But at the moment, I like someone to build their trust. Someone has to build their trust with me. I don't just give away my trust because of their name. Just because your name's the Bont, you don't get my trust. You have to build it. You have to build it over time. I've got no VCs for you this week. Slim, I really like your team. I think you're going to come out of the buys in a really good situation. It's just it's just the trades. So if you can get McCarthy into your team next week, and that leaves you 5 instead of 4 trades, I would prefer that, and then worry about that last upgrade, down the track. And if you chose, if you wanted some more money for the future upgrade, you know, where you could upgrade someone like, so I'm looking at your team, I'm thinking my next upgrade if I was your team, if I kept Long, could be Long, or it could even be Roberts. Like, I'm thinking about, if I had the trades, I'd be ditching Roberts for someone who's better. You know, I think he'll average right around what this score is here, anywhere from 85 to probably 100, which is fine, but I'd prefer someone back there, like in your team and my team, who could score bigger than that, you know, who could go monstrous, looking like a Whitfield, or, you know, someone along those, or a Dale even, you know. I think someone along those lines. Would I prefer to have... Who would you prefer, Roberts or Long, in your team? Who's going to score the better over the long term? Brayshaw spends a lot of time on the bench. Not too bad. Not too bad. I don't think it's... His time on ground's not too bad, right? Let's have a look. It might seem that way. I'm pretty sure he gets a lot of rest because he runs around a lot. He does a lot of work. Still remember the day Gaffy broke his jaw. Stupid Gaffy. Bloody Gaffy. Should have traded Gaff after he did that. Time on ground. Angus Brayshaw. Am I looking at the wrong Brayshaw here? I must be. Andy Brayshaw. Andy Williams. That's what I'm looking at. Time on ground. 85%, 82%, 84%. Looks pretty good to me. In his last, whatever, those amount of games, the lowest he's been on ground is 79%. God, he's had a good year. Over 130, let's say he's gone over 125. Geez, he was probably my best starting pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times with 2 120s in there as well, and 2 and 3 150s. What a great pick he's been. Yeah, I think I'd definitely vice captain Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson for Gorn looks tasty. Yeah, they're about the same price, right? For this week, if you had lots of trades, if you had 13 or 14 trades, oh yeah, that's something to think about. I still think Darcy affects his score, just not as much as the old days. Now they just play him where Darcy plays. He plays him at mid, but Darcy is going to play by the looks of things. So if there ever comes a time, like, we all need to pray that Darcy gets traded at the end of this year. I mean, the Eagles will take him. We need a ruck. I mean, he never plays, but at least when he does, he'll be good. It's Jackson will get 170 this week, but then what do you do the next week with no trades? That's what I mean. If you've got 15 trades, you do it. You just do it. If you've got 15 trades, if you've got 13 or 14 trades, you just do it. If you've got 6 trades, I don't think you can do it. Gorn's price, yeah, Gorn will at 141. Yep, Jackson, Action Jackson will be. Sorry, there you go. There's your team. Could you see it before, or did I have it stretched out before where you couldn't see it? Always let me know, crew, if I put your team up on screen and you can't see the edge. Yeah, that's just how I have to pull the screen over a little bit. Yeah, he will, but I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do it. If I had lots of trades, I'd 100% do it. Break even at 147. He might, not by much though. I mean, we all think he's going to go 200, but he might just go, I mean, 150 is a big score. It's not easy to get 150. So I would expect that we all say he's going to get 200, but I think he'll get 150. I think this is about the score that he'll actually get within 15 to 20 points either side. Probably not under, but I don't think, it's very hard to get 200 points at Supercoach. Wits is one of the worst, the most restrictive ruckman, so I think he'll get 100, but he just won't get a big 100. Gawn can get 100 against anyone. I trust in Gawn Paris. I trust in Gawn. Gawn has been the reason that I did so well at the beginning of the season. 150 in a 3-game system, yeah. So does something drop out, does it? Does something drop out? You don't want to give me his upcoming stats, you Supercoach? You don't feel like doing that for me? So he's got 120, 100, he gets 150 in the week after. They're predicting 140, so, and then if he gets 118, still not a lot. He'll go up a little bit, but not a lot. Not unless he smashes 2 170s in a row. And because Darcy's managed, I'm pretty sure he'll be back next week. So probably just a 120 next week or something like that. But don't get me wrong, he's awesome. If I could have him in my team, I'd just have him in my team. Plus one of the big mistakes that did at the beginning of the year is getting in Boyd. Should have played that extra money. Should have got in the Eagles ruck forward DPP guy, and then could have got in like Jackson and had, ruck DPP. That would have been sorted for them. Imagine if you had to go on Cherry, Gawn, Jackson, and a ruck DPP here. You'd be sorted for the entire season. You wouldn't have had to change your rucks. You would have had a locked-in forward for the entire season. You would have had swaps if anything gets injured. It would have been really nice. You think, you're a Dons fan, aren't you, buddy? You're really down on the Dons. Bolton can do anything. He can get another 78, or he can get 150. We don't know. Same with Sarong. Sarong might get another 140, or he might not. You're going to get thumped. You should get thumped. If Freo don't thump you, they don't deserve to be in the finals. They should thump you with all your injuries, and they're at home. I believe the weather, I'm not too sure if the weather is going to be okay or not over here, especially if the Perth weather is going to be nice. Friday raining, so that's not going to help. Participation quite high right when the game's on. It's going to be very likely to rain, 75%, so that's not helping things. It might help the midfielders, helps Andy Brayshaw. Actually, it could help Jackson because there'll be a lot of stoppages. A lot of stoppages means a lot of rock contests, means a lot of hit-outs. So, actually, it could be very good for them in that case. Actually, yeah, that could even play into their favour. It was once a time when you only wanted to play when it was good weather. Thanks for the insight, Sim. No worries, mate. Hopefully he's hungry after his last tag. Bont, yes. Hopefully he is. I mean, like we said, he is going to go down, but I totally understand if you get him in this week. He's cheap. He will go down more, but that'll give you the opportunity to have another big score in your team this week. You're going to get him anyway. Newcomb's not going to play anyway, so the other options were you're talking about getting Gross. So Gross is not going to play. McCarthy. So McCarthy's not going to play. So I think Newcomb to Bont is fair this week. And if I'm you, I just fade Darcy and hope that he doesn't score 200 too many weeks in a row. I mean, he's got a fairly high break even as well. So if he does come and smash a 130 and you decide that you just need to have him, I think you'll still get him for a direct swap for Ned Long. If you decide next week that you want Darcy and he showed you everything you needed to see this week and you're prepared to go down to the 4 trades, and you get him in, that's fine. But if I was you, I wouldn't. With that, as many trades as you got, I would just get that player there, get the Bont there, get McCarthy on his bubble. Not even next week. I would wait to his bubble. You don't need him. You don't need him to play. Who you're gonna have a full. Who are you missing next week? Maybe you do get him next week. Go early, because then you get another go out on the field who could potentially get 100. You're missing Smith. You're getting rid of Newcomb. You got Cadwell, so that's 2. Lockie Ash, that's 3. Zorko, that's 4. Only 4 out next week. That's pretty good. I think I have 5 out next week. So only having 4 out, that's pretty good. Yep. I think that's very reasonable. Oh, Zorko, did I count Zorko? 1, 2. Oh, Finn Callahan. 3, 4, 5. You got 5 out. Same as me. 1, 2. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 out. Which is, I think a lot of people are going to have. I mean, I've got 5 out next week too. My 5 out next week are Whitfield 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Only 4 out? I thought I had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, only 4 out. I thought I had 5 out. And then I'll be looking into getting a Gross, I keep saying Gross, Tom McCarthy to probably take one of these Essendon boys' spots, get me some money and chuck him on the field, and hopefully he can get me some score. Hopefully he can get me some good score. Sounds like I'm trying to do a drug deal. Want to get a good score. Yeah, but I do like your team, Slim. I do like it. Anybody else there want to chuck their team up on stream? I look at all these teams. I'm like, I wish I had your team. I mean, I know Newton's been bad, but once you make that correction, you know, McRae, Horne-Francis. I had Callahan, I had McRae, I had Horne-Francis, and I got rid of them all. And I do regret it. Let's see, averaging 97, averaging 105, averaging 105. Potentially, I wouldn't have him in there, averaging 105. You know, could be, Sheasel would be somewhere else, could have another 100, 105 player here, the other one there, and have like 8 trades in the bank. Dreams, Seano's past dreams. Seano's good old dreams. But yeah, I do like 6 trades or 5 trades better than 4. 4, I think it's just a little bit too risky. 4, I think you're going to. It's a good thing with the 5 even that you're going to have the swap between Sard and hopefully McCarthy. You know, and then I mean, maybe even you go Pedler and move Gross forward because you've got Petrarca in the midfield. So that even works for you. I mean, I'd probably be... So you could even go Patton if you wanted to. Get rid of Patton. You make more money than if you go Camporelli. Get rid of Patton. Move Gross forward. Connects up with Petrarca in the midfield. And then it's probably better if you've got a midfielder on the field in the forward line. You probably want your swapsy guy in the defense, on the bench in the forward line. So that way you'd make 59k. Yeah, I think I'm fine with trading Rankinene if you have the trades. He's just not playing that same position as he was before. Unless there's, again, if I had lots of trades, I'd definitely be looking to get rid of him. I would take Darcy over him. I would take Horne-Francis over him. I would take McRae over him. All of those 3 players I think will finish the season stronger and at a higher average than he has, as long as he stays in that same position. It's been the name of this year, right? That long as if he gets moved back and gets more midfield, gets another, so many, centre bounces, then maybe, but it just doesn't seem like they're doing that. He doesn't look like going 100 anymore. No, what's he gone? What's he gone for us? He just does not getting enough CBAs. 90 since round 9, he hasn't gone 100. The best has been a 97, including a 62. And if we're going to have a look at how his CBAs have dropped, the rank, he looks pretty rank in your team. He was when he had that role, you know, he was definitely in the top 6 forwards when he had that role, but he just doesn't seem to have that role now. All right, let's do it the other way. Make our life, it looks pretty when we do it the other way. DFS Australia, okay, and we go this way. Adelaide straight up there. So he he's had none. Oh no, this is he went from having between, you know, from round 3 he had between 42%, well, between 42 and 68%, and since then he hasn't even cracked the 50. James Peatling has taken some off him, which has been unfortunate. And Sam Berry has come in and he's taken, I mean, as long as it looks like they're playing Sam Berry, it doesn't look like he'll be getting any back, right? Sam Berry didn't play for the beginning of the season. Now he's come in, he had 87. What did Sam Berry score last week with 87 CBAs? Just out of interest. Just piques Seano's interest, that does. A 73. Not fantastic. Not fantastic. Maybe you should give him back to rank. Maybe you should give rank back his CBAs, please. Give it back to him. But yeah, I can't see him with, obviously, you know, even before Berry came in, they started to take him away from about here. And that, I don't know, when does Matt Crouch come back? Does Matt Crouch come back at some point? Three to 5 weeks. So when Matt Crouch comes back, he probably gets very few CBAs. I mean, unless it's a straight swap for Berry, maybe Berry goes out and Matt Crouch comes back in and takes these CBAs that Berry's getting. Maybe. Anybody else out there today, crew? Anybody else want to have a look at their team? Who are we missing this week? I'm not really missing. We're missing 3, including rank. I'm missing 3 primos this week. Predicted to get 2,035. Can't really tell the game day yet because it doesn't show you your opponent's updated team, which pisses me off. I guess it does it to make it fair, right? I think I worked it out that, like, he's got Sicily out if he doesn't trade him out. He's got Oliver out. He's got 3 primos out, and I've got 3 primos out. Super unlucky. He doesn't have Petrarca. He doesn't have Rankinine. Like, this has been the story of my bias, crew. Like, how much of the competition have Petrarca and Rankinine? This guy's got neither of them. He's kept Oliver. I mean, why couldn't he have kept the other 2 or got them in? Like, he's still got Huswaite. I mean, he might even get rid of Huswaite. He could potentially make a trade here and be ahead if he gets rid of, I don't know, if he gets rid of any of, you know, these guys. He's got Miller, Dacos, Patton, Warner, Sheldrick, Roberts, Tunstall. It's good that he is there. Reedy, that's nice that he's got those 2. Sardis, that's nice. So common, we both got Sinclair, Daniel, Sheasel, Sherry, Smith, and in And then he's going to bring back on the field. He'll bring Dacos back on. He'll bring Miller back on. He'll bring Warner back on. He'll bring Roberts back on. He'll bring Sheldrick back on. So he's bringing quite a few people back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I kind of look at it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might maybe have 2 more rookies than he does. Just checking to see if we can get Jackson in somehow. I know I can't. I probably could if I broke the bank with McCarthy this week. But honestly, I think Darcy's going to be good. For his price, he's going to be really good. Is he going to go as huge as Jackson this week? Well, he might do, but I doubt it. The likelihood, the crystal ball says no, but it's a chance that he does. But yeah. I mean, if I had lots of trades, Gawn to Jackson would be, very, very tasty if I had lots of trades. But I don't think I can't. Gawn is the reason I have a decent rank this year. He's captain scores early on in the season, and he's the reason I got punished last year when I didn't have him. So I know if I got rid of him, he'd score 150 every game from now on. He scored 150 every game last year when everyone made him his vice captain. He played on Friday night every week, scored 150. Everyone had his vice captain, and it really, really hurt me. And this year I got him, and it's been really good. So I don't think I can get off him, even if it's for the money. If that means I understand if I got off him, maybe I wouldn't be stuck with some of these mid-price dudes, the Dohertys and the Roberts of the world, but in the Mills. But I just can't do it. Can you get Gawn back in with one trade and keep Jackson like in the flex or something, Paris? Is that what you're doing? Let me have a look at you. The Spuds. Relation to the Skodfather. Gawn goes out. He comes in. Oh, are you thinking about getting Gawn out? Or you are thinking of taking Gawn out? You're getting in for one game. Jeez. If I was getting Jackson in, I'd be thinking it's a hold. You don't have that many trades either, do you, buddy? But you are in the top 200, so if you want to swing for the fences, mate, and potentially end up with some zeros on your field come the last few rounds, and you say, fuck it, I went for it, I understand. You don't have McCarthy yet any either, so you can make some McCarthy money. Bummer Day Wicks has not been named for you. Would have been nice if Day Wicks could just got a spike score for you, like if a 60 or a 70 or something. I mean, at least he wasn't 99k, dude. He went up 20k. I mean, you've still got Peddler, where you can make. Yeah, your bench scares me a little bit, Paris, but I guess you don't give a crap at rank 200. You don't really give a crap, right? You're just going to go for it. I wish we had a time frame on Gray as well. There's to be recovered. Next 3 are not great. Yeah. Yep. Lots of trades, I'd say. Beautiful, do it. And next year, I promise, Paris, you remember this, write it down in your diary. Seano says next year he's going to be a lot more frugal. He's going to be frugal with his trades. He's not going to flash them around, and he's not going to go for as many mid prices. I'm going to hold. If a player is out for less than 3 weeks, we're going to hold. If they're at Uber Premium, we're going to be holding them. At least Marshall's playing for you this week. That's a good deal. Write it down. I've written it down already. I wrote down the opposite to that. not spending up big. We're going rookies and guns and rookies next year with no more than one mid-pricer in each line, unless it's someone along the lines of like a Bailey Smith, someone who is dirt cheap and, you know, affordable. This year's forward line was good. Like we had Smith, and out of all those mid prices, still really only Smith and Daniel are the only ones that we've still kept, right? All the others we've dropped. The back line was a big problem where we had Short and Perryman for me, where we just didn't need to do that. We didn't need to do Short and Perryman, and we didn't need to get Zorko at 600k either at the beginning of the season. I think we could have had Sinclair at like 550 and had him for the full season, and we didn't need Sheasel at 600k either. Gonna be much more, you know, looking for the bargains next year. 550 is going to be where it's at next year. I think that's going to be the bargains. Any thoughts now? Who might be the is the game about to start? How close are we to? It's almost about to start, right? I think we might have to jump off and watch the game. Let's. I've got the TV right next here. Just turn it down. We'll wait till the game starts, crew. But I'll say my goodbyes now because it doesn't look too far away. Yeah, I'm the same. I was the same, Paris. I have way too many. I have Sheasel and Sinclair in the mids, which at the time seemed smart. When I did it, it seemed smart because the mids couldn't fucking perform. Now, when you got, you know, when I look at other people's teams and where I've got Sheasel, they've got like Butters, and they've still got Sheasel in the back line, or, you know, they've still got Sinclair in the back line, but they've got Jordan Dawson or Butters or, you know, or George Hewitt, someone who can go big. And I'm like, I don't really have anyone can go really big, you know. Hasn't really gone big, hasn't gone too big lately. I believe Sheasel can go big if he gets the full run in the middle. But quickly, guys, I will say we're going to stay on until the game starts because it looks like they're just warming up. But I've already... still 35 minutes because it's over here. It's still got 35 minutes. So we still got a bit of time. Still a bit of time to chat. But do really appreciate all you guys being here. And if you give me that like, or you're watching this at a later date, like, subscribe, because we're trying to get to 300 subscribers before the end of the year. Which, how are we doing with that? How's the little thing going? And we said if we get to 300 subscribers, Shauna's going to do a stream. It's going to scream. I might scream. We'll do a stream, a funny stream, like I'm dressed like an idiot or something. We're at 247, so we're getting there. I think we started the year at 205, and I guarantee you those 205 people, probably about 5 of them have ever watched AFL before. So I've still got 200 people who do not give a shit about AFL subscribe to me. So I would love it if some people who watch these videos do subscribe. Let's get me up to 300. Let's make me do a video. We'll do a co-hosting video with Kevin the Kangaroo and dressed like an idiot. Put some Australian flags on our heads and a dumb hat or something. Something where you guys can laugh at me. I'm not going to write like you suck on my forehead or anything, but we'll work something out. But yeah, Paris, I mean, I'm like you, buddy. I would like my time back again this season so much. But what do they say? Can't have that. Don't have a time machine. And if I had a time machine, I'd probably be going back to get the lotto numbers, not a better Supercoach score. Probably the Powerball, the 100 million Powerball is where I'd be going back to get the numbers, not the Supercoach score. Not my Supercoach, correct my Supercoach mistakes. Let's have a look. Who are the community getting in this week? Let's if we go to Supercoach Plus and we go to who are the top 10% of players. Actually, let's just do everyone first, and then we'll have a look at the top players. So who is everyone getting in? A lot of people getting in Tom McCarthy this week. Okay. I understand if it gets you up to somebody, even though he's not playing, you understand if he's the one who gets you the money that you need. Callum Mills, number 2, well, at least 8.1%. How much is he already owned by? He's already owned by 3%, takes him up to 11%. Still not heaps. Conditions look great off this. I can't hear any rain outside today, and when I looked at the Perth weather, no rain is telecast. No rain today, just tomorrow. Oh, so I was looking at tomorrow. What a dumbass. Tonight there's no rain, so all that stuff I said about stoppages and everything was wrong. No rain tonight. Some around Thursday. Participate. Night 6 p.m. 15% rain. Chance of rain. But no, yeah, Seano was looking at the wrong day. He was looking at tomorrow for some stupid reason. He was looking at tomorrow for some dumb reason. So Sam Darcy, number 3. Okay, I understand it. I bought him in. I bought in 2 of these 3, so I'm one of these people. Oh, Carroll's going to go up money. Can you not get Mills some other? Oh. Can you? I guess. Is that the only way you can afford to get Mills? Can you not get, if you go Peddler down to... Yeah, you want him in your forward line. If you go... Yeah... What about Huswaite? Is that the only way you can afford Mills? You have to get rid of Carroll? Carroll just got his first spike game all year. I assume that's the only way you can afford it. If you could afford it by doing a Huswaite or a Gray instead, it'd make me happier. Get Tom McCarthy instead of Huswaite and get Mills instead of Gray. I guess not, but how much money? If you do want to make an upgrade from Mills to someone or Rankinine to someone, it'd be nice to have a little bit of money in the bank. It doesn't really matter, but you know, you might still, with 4 trades left, you still, I mean, obviously you're keeping those trades for injury, but if you get to 4 games to go and you haven't traded, you might go 1 down, 1 up, and having coverage, if you don't, if all hell breaks loose, having some coverage couldn't hurt. But then if you get rid of Carroll now, you have that money, so if you do want to go up Mills to somebody else, or Dunkley to somebody else, or Rankin to somebody else, you probably got more money. Best vice captain option is Jackson from Freo, playing in about 20 minutes, I reckon. Then I still think Sherry is very good as vice captain or captain. A lot of people are saying Bont. All the other content creators are saying Bont. So I'm going to make it so he gets 150 and say not go Bont. So now Seano said not go Bont. You can go Bont. Yeah, Luke Jackson tonight is going to be huge. Obviously not a lot of us have him. So when I was looking, in my trade video, we went through captains a little bit for the community. I'm thinking a vice captain on either Bailey Smith or Holmes could be fine. Into like a Sherry. Western Bulldogs, in theory, should have a good game. Bont may come back, but I just can't trust it on the last couple of games. Yeah, who are you thinking, Jai? Who are you thinking on your team? Have you got your team name there? We can bring your team up and have a look. I can tell you who I think, if you've got your team name there. Yeah, VC Brayshaw for tonight. That's good, mate. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Brayshaw into Sherry. I think that's safe as houses. I think that's safer than going into Bont. Like every other content creator I've looked at says go Bont. I'm like, how can you go Bont? I mean, I know he's Bont, but he's just delivered up a couple of big stinking turds in your team the last couple of weeks. You know, how do you trust? How do you trust it? If he was your vice captain, you know what? If someone said I want to make Bont my vice captain, oh, what can't I see? Knock knock. You online? Is there a space? Any spaces there or anything, mate? Or is it... There you are. 1966. Alright, so I'm with you, buddy. I think safe Brayshaw tonight into Sherry. If I had your team, which is similar to my team, that's what I'd be doing. You don't have the bond, so you don't have to worry about that. Me telling you the same crap as everybody else. You don't have Dale, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, everyone says that matchup's going to be a really good matchup, but I'm thinking Brayshaw into Sherry is safe as houses. Yeah, we got it eventually. Where are you at? Overall 67,000. Sinclair, Ash, Whitfield, Malera, Sheasel, Carroll, which will be McCarthy next week. Brayshaw, Butter, Sarong, Neil, Dacos. It'll be... Oh, you got... Get Rowell on the... Oh, I assume Rowell, you put Rowell on the field. This is before you've made your corrections. Rowell, Johnson, Bins, in the bins. Sherry de Koning, Smith, Martin, Petrarca, Daniel, Rankining, Reed, and Clark. Okay. Yep, I think... You know, that's your safest pick. How are you going for trades and money? You got a bit of a stash of money or trades? I wouldn't be doing too much with your team this week unless if you've got a way to get a Primo, I think your midfield could do with a Primo or a Callum Mills if you needed a cheap. Round out your defence with Callum Mills and play McCarthy either in your midfield on the bench or in your flex. Oh, yeah, with as less trades that you've got, I mean, it's very tricky, Paris. You follow your gut, mate. I don't want to tell you what to do because I know you've done a lot better than me this season, and you've had a couple of rough weeks. So you do what you feel is best. I think the big question you got yourself to ask, Paris: are you happy if you run out of trades and you end with zeros at the end of the season? Are you happy just to go, I'm going to go for it and get the lowest rank I can possibly get, and screw it if if they the old Ricky Bobby style, if you're not first, you're last. So if you drop back to 500 or 600 or 700 by the end of the season, do you not give a shit, or would you prefer to at the end play it safe and then at the end of the season say, oh look, I scraped back up to, I made it in top 100. I made it to 99. Yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, Jai, do you have much money left in your bank? You got a few. If you've got trades and money, which not much of us have, you've probably got a few things you could do. Definitely, I mean, you've got a few spots that you need to fill, so picking up someone who's a little bit cheaper like a Mills, I would say is probably reasonable for your team. have somewhere. You don't really want the Carrolls of the world playing on the bench, and you don't really want a Hustwaite or even a Johnson really playing on the bench every week. You want either Johnson or Clark, and that's down there. But you could if you have Tom McCarthy here in the midfield. So if I was you, I would probably try and hopefully you have something like enough money to take up a couple of $100K to take up a Hasty or a Boxall or a Patton up to a Mills, get Mills, and then that I would call that completed for the moment. You would have Rao come back on. You would have McCarthy here, so you'd be playing either Hewitt or Johnson. You'd probably try to do each week a loophole to see who gets you the most out of Hewitt or Johnson. I mean, if you wanted to get rid of Hewitt, even though he seems like one of your best rookies, you can do a direct swap from Hewitt to Mills pretty much. You wouldn't need much. You could get rid of Hewitt, move Tom McCarthy here and get Mills, and then you'd have to play Johnson though, that I don't love as much. I think Hewitt's got more chance of scoring you more than Johnson, I think. I think he's definitely got job security is better. We have to play him. So if I had you got Nick Martin, that's very nice. Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit rough having that there too. You got a few holes, unfortunately. I know it can be a bit tricky. You might have to, depending on the amount of trades and money you've got, you either got to go. If you had lots of trades, like if you told me you had 12 trades, I'd even be saying potentially get the forward dude this week. You just don't have, none of your rookies are making any money though, unfortunately. I really like the fact you've got Archer Reed here, and I think it could help you out at the end of the season if there's if you have issues in the ruck. So I think it's fine to have him. I mean, you prefer him over here, but I think it's fine to have him. But yeah, just try and get those rookies off the field and get. I mean, if you have a look at my team, a week or two ago, my team was very similar to yours, where to get the rookies off the field, we've got Mills here in the flex. Rankinene comes on. I had to get Doherty just because I wanted the rookies off the field, and then here will be Carroll. So this only left me with 6 trades, but if you've got a way to get those rookies off the field, the only problem is with your team, you just don't have the money, which is the problem most of us have. Like, if you bought in, say, what's his face, Martin this week, he's 150k, you don't really make any money. You only make 8,000 off Patton. You make 3,000 off Boxall. You make 25,000 off Hustwaite. If you wouldn't be dropping Carroll this week, you lose money if you do it for Hasty. So yeah, a little bit troubling, Jay. But if you've got trades, trade your ass off. Just maybe you might just have to give up on the Reed and go Martin and take the 50 or 60k, or wait till next week and get Butler, and then you'll make even more money. I mean, he's not exactly scoring on fire, is he? So Sam Butler from Hawthorn plays next week. He's bargain basement price at 120. Drop Reed, get him in, gets you 90k. You've already got Tom McCarthy, which is which is unfortunate. Not that you don't have him, not that you have him, but that you can't get him to make more money. And so yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. But for you originally asked me about your captain choices, and I think Brayshaw into Sherry, which is what I'm doing, which I think is safe as houses. If Brayshaw doesn't kill it, Sherry's going to be a very reasonable backup, and he hasn't failed too often since he had those injury affected games of the 89, 94 and 83. You know, he hasn't gone below 100. Last week at 105 was his lowest score versus Freo, versus the two ruckmen. I think they had Darcy and Jackson against him. Well, this week he plays Carlton. He's up against TDK, but I still think I still think Cherry can beat TDK pretty well. I think he can still towel up Terry a little bit. Towel up Terry? Towel up TDK? Do we need an English?
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Why does it never stay at the beginning?
Me fail English?
That's impossible. If Angus Clark scores well tonight, you might fade Mills. I was tempted to fade Mills for McCarthy, but then it doesn't leave me. I still get left with another rookie on the field. I'd have to play a Carroll or a Clark, and I mean, poor Clark. Paris, where are they going to? They played him as a key defender last week, right? The poor bugger. He came out for you that first week, ran down a wing, scored 3 goals, and now you're playing him as a key defender? That's pretty rough for the Clark. Pretty rough. And not only just a key defender on the best, potentially, we'll call it the best forward in the league, on Jeremy Cameron. What a poor bugger. What a poor kid. Here, go play on Jeremy Cameron. See how you go. Like, oh, but remember, coach, that first week where I kicked 3 goals and I played down the wing? Nah, not going to let you do that again. We don't need 3 goals. We're Essendon. We don't need 3 goals. It's like, okay. Where was he actually named in the lineup for tonight? Where's he named? Not that seems to make any difference with coaches. Should get a fine if they don't play him in their position. Named him at half back. Ben Hobbs, this guy's named on the bench. So yeah, I certainly considered doing it, but for me that meant I would have to have either Clark or Carroll or Johnson on the field. And the only rookie I feel really confident about having on the field, even though some of my players have been putting up rookie scores, I'm looking at you, Doherty, is Tom McCarthy. I think it's going to be the only rookie I feel like having on my field. Get 5, Joel. Funny enough, Joel, I almost tried to in one of my draft leagues. If Fife was a forward again and he's in my draft league, I'd get him. If we thought he was going to play a full game and he was named in the forward line, I mean, he just doesn't play that midfield role enough of it anymore. He's very good for them as a super sub. Is he named? Have they named their Oh yeah, they must have named them so far. Who's the subs? They haven't said who's going to be the sub yet, or I just need to update this. He's not the sub. Where'd they name him? Half forward. We know, we love Fife, but he just doesn't seem to. He's just never really made it as a good forward. Hey Joel, he just, he has all the attributes to be a good forward. He can jump, he can mark. You would think he could kick straight, but he just doesn't seem to. Did he ever get like 3 or 4 goals in all those games he played forward in the last couple of years? I don't think he ever did. I'd be surprised if he ever got more than 2 goals in a game when he was playing up forward. As a super sub coming into the midfield, he's been pretty awesome. I'll give you that much. Having him as, I'd probably prefer, Nat Fife running down the wing than Matt Johnson type of thing, but I don't know. What a legend he was. Would have killed for Fife to be in the Eagles a few years back in his peak. I guess time catches up with us all, right? Time catches up with us all. How far are we away from the game? Umpires are coming out. Is that what's happening now? Alright, we've got 13 minutes, crew, so I think I'm going to go and organise some snacks get myself ready for the game. Love the fact, I like making these videos for you guys. These are my favourite videos when I get to chat with you guys. So I really appreciate everyone who's here today. Even if you can't watching this video at a later date, please hit that subscribe and get me up to those 300 subscribers and make me do something stupid on stream. You can also like the video, which would be awesome, and also leave me a comment down below. Tell me who your trades are. Tell me if I want to know, is anyone here got the cojones to put Bont as their captain? Especially if Sherry fails. I want to know. Anyone here just going the Bont? Anyone going to listen to all the other content creators and gonna lock in the Bont? I think it's only the content creators. They sold him to me, not that I'm not one of them, at 670k, and now they're selling them to me as being the captain. I can't do it. So once again, thank you Joel, thank you Paris, thank you Jai. Who else we've had here? Slim, thank you very much. Thank you guys for letting me put your teams up on the screen. Makes for great content. I really like it. Lanzy, Mikey, Zed, Jackson, who's making the BC on Jackson, and Mr. Ape, Rod Todd, who wins for being the first chatter today. Rod Todd wins. He asked me if Jonas found the missing sock. I don't know what he's talking about there, but maybe you guys are going to know. He's going to get tag teamed by TDK and Pitnet. I still think he'll destroy Pitnet when he plays against Pitnet. So, I mean, I still think he'll score well. Paris, I think you're still. I'm saying 120 plus for Sherry. He got a 105 last week. It was his lowest score when he has been injured. I believe in Sherry. I believe in the Sherry pick every week. Sherry and Gorn and Sherry and Gorn. One of them's not available. Then whoever potentially has a reasonable fixture and already a big average. So I still think he's going to go well. You want to take the overs or unders, Paris? What do you want? I reckon he'll get over 125. You can take the unders if you want. You reckon he'll score less than 125? Don't forget he is the backup, so, he should be fading out in the end of the games a little bit. He has been getting a little bit tired in the end of the games. I hope he doesn't get a rest or anything coming up. He needs another bye. Give Sherry another bye. Anyway, crew, thank you so much for watching. We're going to take off. Paris, over-unders before I go? Nope. Anyway, okay. Really appreciate everyone being here. Really appreciate you watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you like the sound effects, the Amr Akbars and the Ralph Wickhams of the world. I think it makes it a little bit fun, doesn't it? And yeah, hope you all have a good week. Hope your Supercoach score is an awesome score this week and your team goes very well. And I will see you next week for my review video, my newly named trade time video. And as the week goes on, we'll do a couple of live videos. I'll be in the morning next week due to work, probably on either Tuesday, Wednesday or a Thursday, one if not two, if not all. So if you'd like to check me out on X or Twitter or whatever it's called these days, I'll put a link in the chat at the moment. I will let you guys know in there when I go live, and I'll also hit the notification button down here, and that will also tell you when I go live. And I'm going to put up my trades every week, my last minute trades in X. So if you want to see what my final trades are, I think I'm going to do it now because I don't think I'm changing them at all this week. That's my trades this week, so that's what we're going with. And yeah, so everyone have a great day, and I will talk to you all again very soon.